राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा मदन मोहन राधे जय राधा मदन गोपाल राधे जय राधा वृंदावन चंद्र राधे जय राधा दामोदर राधे जय राधा गोपी वल्लभ राधे जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव जय शील गुरुदेव निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल. Give me 1 minute. Okay.
Yes, please.
Let's start with the prayers. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवयात् भगवतिरुत्तमश्लोकैर्भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकीर्। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतुषे नमः। नमो ब्राह्मण्य देवाय गोब्राह्मण हिताय च जगद्विताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निधि नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So how can I see all of you?
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
I'm just adjusting the window so that I can at least accommodate most of you.
That probably not possible.
Okay.
You need a second computer for that.
Yeah, I am having it. I'm having another monitor. So.
Another monitor. Okay.
Yes. So I'd like to welcome all of you. Although I'm not eligible, capable of sharing anything good because of my own limitations and contaminations, but somehow I have been fortunate enough to get into this association by the blessings of Lilananda Prabhuji, Praveen Prabhuji, Subbarao Prabhuji. They have given me this opportunity so that I can read more Srimad Bhagavatam. It was kept cover to cover as it is. So they are helping me read it, and I would like to express my gratitude to them first, as they are helping me. And getting involved in Srimad Bhagavatam is such a rare thing. At least I would not have done it myself. So really very fortunate to have such an association of all of you, such a great Vaishnavas. Satyadev Prabhu, Santoshaditya Prabhu, Sanjay Prabhu, Akinchan Priya Prabhuji, Ram Reddy Prabhuji, Sri Gopal Prabhuji. Yeah, Anandram Prabhu, my mother, Sri Hari Prabhu, Sapna Mataji, all of them. Please pray for me. Lalit Mohan Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Today I need your help, especially because I'm going to share something which would really be your one of the favorites.
Don't embarrass me, Prabhuji.
No, it's going to be there. So you should help me out. Okay. And Raju Prabhuji and many other. Thank you very much for helping me out in this life. And someday I would perfect my life by passing away like Bhishma Dev. That's what I would aspire. And that is the topic for today. With that, let's start. So how we are going to do it is, we have the Bhishma Stuti here. We'll first recite the Bhishma Stuti prayers, and then accordingly, I have went through the verses and I have highlighted the points which I felt is important, and we will discuss those points I have highlighted for each verse, most of the verse, and then I have some additional points to be shared. So that will be the format. Okay. Now it's 7:30. We'll start. Shri Bhishma Uvacha. So you want to recite together, or how we will do it, or should I do it? Any suggestions here?
If you have already practiced, you should do it, Prabhu. Bhagavatam shlokas, people can repeat.
Yes, Prabhuji. These are Bhagavatam shlokas.
Chapter 32, right?
No. 1-9. First canto, 9th chapter is Bhishma Dev Stuti.
Okay.
Okay. So we are starting from text 32. Is the exact 1-9-32 is the place where Bhishma Dev is starting his prayers. So we will recite those prayers, and then we will go to important points and discuss those points. Okay. So maybe you can recite after me. Let's try to recite. I'm also not very expert here, but let's try together. In Bhakti, no one fails. So let's have that faith and hope, and let's try. Shri Bhishma Uvacha.
Shri Bhishma Uvacha.
Iti matirupakal vita vikrishna Bhagavati Satvata Pungave Vibhumni.
Iti matir Krishna Bhagavati Satvata Pungave Vibhumni.
Svasukamupagate kvachit vihartum prakritimupeयुषियाद् bhava pravaha.
Swasukham upagati
kvachit vihartum prakritimupeयुषियाद् bhava pravaha. Tribhuvanagamanam Tamalvaranam Ravikaragauravaram Tadane. Tribhuvanagamanam तमालवदनं रविकरकौस्तुभरावरं ददाने वपुरलकुलावृताम्बजं
भजन
विजयसखेरतिरस्तु मे नवद्या
आननाब्जं विजय सखे
विजयसखेरस्तु मे
अस्तु मे नवद्या
नवद्या युदितुरगरजो विधूम्रविश्व कचलुलित समवार अलङ्कृतस्ये
मम
युदितुरगरजो विधूम्रविश्व कचलुलित
क्षमावार्य
अलङ्कृतस्य मम नितिश शरीर विभिद्यमान त्वचि विलसत् कवचेस्तु कृष्ण आत्मा मम
निश्चित
शरीर
विभिद्यमान
त्वचि विलसत् कवचेस्तु
कृष्ण
आत्मा सपदि सखी वचो निशम्यमाद्ये निज परयोर्बलयोरथं निवेश्य सपदि सखी वचो
निशम्य मध्ये
निशम्यमाद्ये निज परयोर्बलयोरथं निवेश्य स्थितवती परसैनिकर्यक्ष्णा ऋतवती प्रार्थसकेरते ममास्तु स्थितवती परसैनिकर्यक्ष्णा ऋतवती प्रार्थसकेरते ममास्तु व्यवहित पृथना मुखं निरीक्ष्य स्वजन वधाद विमुक्षय दोषभूद्य व्यवहित पृथना मुखं निरीक्ष्य स्वजन विमुखस्य दोषभूद्य कुमतिम् अरधात्मा विविद्यास चरणरति परमास्य कस्य मेस्तु कुमतिम् अरधात्मा विद्यास्य चरणरतिर्परमास्य कस्य मेस्तु स्वनिगमम् अपहाय मत्प्रतिज्ञा रतम् अधिकर्तुम् अवप्लुतो रथस्था स्वनिगमम् अपहाय मत्प्रतिज्ञां रथमधिकर्तुतो रथस्था धृतरथचरणो भयाचलद्गुर् हरिरिव हन्तुमिभं गतोत्तरीया धृतरथचरणो
अभय चलद्गुरु
हरिरिव हन्तुमिभं
इभं
गतोत्तरीया सितविषखहतो विशीर्णदंश क्षितजल
परिप्लुत
ज Pula ataptino
Paripluta.
paripluta atatyano me
Shikahato Vishirna
Tamanse
Kshataja
Shataja
paripluta
paripula
atatayino
me.
Parasam abhishara madvadharatum swabhavantu me bhagavan gatir mukunda
Abhisasara
madhvithara
sabhavantu
sabhavatu
me bhagavan
Bhagavan
gatir
gatir mukunda
mukunda Vijayarata kutumba artatotre dritahaya rashminita chirikshasanye Vijayarata kutumba artatotre dritahaya rashminita
Chiriyekshanu
Bhagavatirratirastu me muhursho yamiha nirikshayaha gata swarupam Bhagavatirratirastu me muhursho yamiha nirikshayaha gata swarupam. Okay, so that is Bhishma Stuti. It continues. Lalita gati vilasa valguhasya pranaya nirikshana kalpito rumana.
Lalita gati vilasa
valguhasya pranaya nirikshana kalpito rumana. Kritamanu-kritavatsya anmadhane prakritim agankilayasya gopavadva kritamanu-kritavatsya
anvadantha
Prakritim
prakritim
agankilayasya
agankilayasya
gopavadva Muniganana narpa varya sankulenta sadasi yudhishthira rajasuya esham Muniganana varya sankulenta sada yudhishthira rajasuya esham Arahanam upapada ikshaniyo mama drishi gochara esha aviratma Arahanam upapada ikshaniyo
mama drishti
gochara yesha
Atma
aviratma
Tamimamaham sharirabhajam Ridhi stitam atmakalpitatma
Pratidrisham
Tamimamaham sharirabhajam Ridhi stitam atmakalpitatma Pratidrishamiva naika darkam ekam samadhigatosmi vidhuta vedamoha
Pratidrisham eva
iva
naika
naikadharkam
ekam
ikam
Samadhigatosmi vidbhuta bheda moha. Okay, so here in this last verse, Bhishma Dev is completely absorbed in Lord Shri Krishna. Okay, so first canto, 9th chapter. It's all about Bhishma Dev, who is lying on the bed of arrows in Kurukshetra. Even today, there is a place called Bhishma Kund, and the place where Bhishma Dev was lying on the bed of arrows. When Arjuna came there, shot an arrow, Mother Ganges appeared there, and in that way, Arjuna provided sacred water to Bhishma Dev. So that Kund, Bhishma Kund, is still there. That is the place where this incident happened, and we'll see how, while Bhishma Dev was lying there, all the great saints, great Rishi Munis, all great personalities, the entire war was almost standstill, and everyone came to pay respect to Bhishma Dev. So in that situation, so this is first canto, 9th chapter, 9th verse. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we have got this opportunity to read and understand Srimad Bhagavatam, or else it's so difficult to understand in this age of Kali. It's just by his mercy. And Srila Prabhupada himself told that these are not his words, but these are the dictation of the Lord himself, who came and sat beside him and dictated to him. So these are words of Lord directly spoken to Srila Prabhupada, which we are very fortunate to read today. In that consciousness, let's take it very seriously. Translation: Bhishma Deva, who was the best among the 8 Vasus, received and welcomed all the great and powerful rishis who were assembled there, for he knew perfectly all religious principles according to time and place. In the purport, the first point mentioned is expert religionists know perfectly well how to adjust religious principles in terms of time and place. All the great acharyas or religious preachers or reformers of the world executed their mission by adjustment of religious principles in terms of time and place. So we all know how Srila Prabhupada, by the mercy of the Lord, as well as his own pure devotional service, how he was able to transform the hippies into happies, how he was able to preach to the West, who were in such an illusion. Even Indians are in illusion, no doubt about it. But Westerners, they have more comfort, they have more luxury, they have more sense gratification compared to Indians. So how can someone teach them love of God? Srila Prabhupada did it, and he made some adjustment according to the time and place. And that is what an acharya, expert religionist, can do. So that is a quality. And Srila Prabhupada showed it. Not only he has written it here, he has showed it by his own example. And so many other sannyasis in that line are showing today how everything is so much adjusted, but still the principle is not compromised. Correct. Second point mentioned here is, while Bhishma Dev was lying here in the bed of arrows, he was unable to move himself or ask someone to, okay, please come, I bow down to you. No, nothing he can do physically. But still, he wanted to welcome each one of them. So how he can do? He was welcoming them by uttering sweet words. So this is the second point Prabhupada mentions. Prabhupada mentions many other points, but I'm just highlighting the second important point that I felt. So he was unable to welcome and receive them physically because he was neither at his home nor in the normal healthy condition. But he was quite fit by the activities of his sound mind, and therefore he could utter sweet words with hearty expressions. If we just close our eyes and think, despite our good condition, despite we being at home, how many times have we ignored someone? And what one of the 12 Mahajans is teaching us in that extreme situation, extreme painful situation, while he was lying there for 6 months on the bed of arrows. And despite that, he is uttering sweet words to please others. So, Prabhujis and Matajis, just think how much a Vaishnava, a pure devotee, is careful of not hurting others, instead to please others. What is that level of consciousness? Even if we have a little trouble, we are ready to compromise on anything. But what Bhishmadev is teaching us, despite of so much trouble, despite of so much pain, he's uttering those sweet words so that others can be pleased. That is the greatness of Bhishmadev. So this is verse number 12. Bhishmadev said, "Oh, what terrible suffering and what terrible injustice you good souls suffer." Now this Bhishmadev is telling to Yudhishthir Maharaj and Arjuna. They all have came to see him, and Bhishmadev is now speaking to them. Oh, what a terrible sufferings and terrible injustice you good souls suffer for being the sons of religion personified. You did not deserve to remain alive under those tribulations, yet you were protected by Brahmanas, God, and religion. So, three important things: Brahmanas, God, and religion. And Prabhupada emphasizes in his purport, saying he wanted to point out particularly that they were always protected by Brahmanas, Lord, and religious principle. As long as they were protected by these three important items, there was no cause of disappointment. Thus, Bhishmadeva encouraged Maharaj Yudhishthir to dissipate his despondency. So, Yudhishthir Maharaj, as we all know, was little disappointed because after such a massacre, he felt, why did I did so? Just for my own pleasure of winning the kingdom, I did it. And in that state, Bhishmadev is consoling Yudhishthir Maharaj and correcting him, saying, you have been always protected by Brahmanas, Lord, and religious principle. And Prabhupada further tells that as long as a person is fully in cooperation with the wishes of the Lord, so this is very important. As long as a person is fully in cooperation with the wishes of the Lord. So, in order to understand what is the wish of the Lord, we should read scriptures. We should read what he has spoken. Then you will understand what is the wish of the Lord. And then we have to be fully in cooperation with that wish. Lilananda Prabhuji, he told, the highest of the highest philosophy is following of that philosophy. Now, we may say that, okay, I know the philosophy, but to follow the philosophy is even more difficult than knowing the philosophy. So, we have to read the scriptures and we have to obey, follow in the footsteps of our acharyas and in full cooperation of what the Lord wishes from us. What are his expectations? Lord has clearly given in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. guided by the bona fide Brahmanas and Vaishnavas and strictly following religious principle, one has no cause for despondency. So if one is guided by the bona fide Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, strictly following the religious principles, then there is no disappointment in one's life. And we all are fortunate to have such a good Sangha of devotees together, where each one is helping others to be together, to help each other, to correct each other. And in that way, we all can be successful. Verse 17. O best among the descendant of Bharata, Yudhishthira, I maintain, therefore, that all this is within the plan of the Lord. Accepting the inconceivable plan of the Lord, you must follow it. You are now the appointed administrative head, and my Lord, you should now take care of those subjects who are now rendered helpless. So Bhishmadeva is entrusting the kingdom to Yudhishthir Maharaj, saying, you should take care of the praja. You should be the administrative head, and you are capable of it. The popular saying is that housewife teaches the daughter-in-law by teaching the daughter. Similarly, the Lord teaches the world by teaching the devotees. So why Bhishmadeva had to undergo so much pain? The reason is Lord is showing an example to the entire world by the example of his own devotee. And Prabhupada just correlates this to a housewife teaches the daughter-in-law. She directly, if she instructs daughter-in-law, there will be quarrel, arguments, etc. But the housewife will teach her daughter, say to her daughter, and daughter-in-law looking at it will learn. So that is an indirect way of preaching someone. And Lord also does it. Lord uses or takes help from his own devotee who are surrendered souls to teach all of us conditioned soul. For us, Bhishmadeva underwent so much trouble. So let's take his teachings seriously. A devotee's duty, therefore, is to ungrudgingly accept turbulation from the Lord as a benediction. So, if we are a devotee, if we have started chanting, if we have surrendered our life and gained the faith that Krishna is there, he is the protector. I surrender unto you, Sarva Dharman Parityaja, Mamekam Sharanam Braja. If we are a devotee, then still the turbulations can come in our life. Yes, Prabhujis and Matajis. Painful situation will come to us. Gajendra was not an exclusion. Bhishmadev is not an exclusion. Dhruva Maharaj is not an exclusion. Prahlad Maharaj is not an exclusion. And Srila Prabhupada is not an exclusion. And so many other sannyasis, they have also underwent so many pains and turbulations. In the current day also, we see His Holiness Jayapatak Swami Maharaj undergoing so much bodily pain and turbulations, but still not an inch deviated from the faith of Lord. What example is being set to all of us, right? So, turbulations in devotees' life will come, and that is to teach all of us. So from His Holiness Jayapatak Swami Maharaj, he is undergoing so much trouble for all of us to learn. Despite of that condition, he is able to do so much devotional service. We, with our hands, legs, eyes, everything in place, intact, very good condition, what are you waiting for? Why don't you surrender today and do devotional service? What is stopping you from doing it? So That's what great devotees teach us by their own example. So verse 18. Now Bhishmadeva started addressing Lord Shri Krishna. This Shri Krishna is no other than the inconceivable original personality of Godhead. He is the first Narayana, the supreme enjoyer. But he is moving amongst the descendants of King Vrishni, just like one of us. And he is bewildering us with his self-centered energy. So Bhishmadeva, being the pure devotee of the Lord, he understands who is Sri Krishna. Although he is being with us as a normal human being, but he is not normal. He is Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Bhishmadeva is one of the 12 Mahajans who know the principle of transcendental knowledge. His confirmation of Lord Shri Krishna's being the original personality of Godhead. So here, Bhishmadeva himself confirms Shri Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original personality of Godhead. He is the first Narayana. So, Prabhujis and Matajis, if you still doubt, what is our doubt on? When such a great devotee, one of the 12 Mahajan, is directly saying he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, what is still the block in our heart which says, no, I am better than Krishna. I can enjoy this material world without Krishna. Please think through it. If there is still a block in your heart, please take it to or reveal to a Vaishnava who can clear it and establish your relationship with Krishna and develop that faith. Verse 19. O king, Bhishmadeva is speaking to Yudhishthira Maharaj. O king, Lord Shiva, Narada, the sage amongst the demigods, and Kapila, the incarnation of Godhead, all know very confidentially about his glories through direct contact. Now, not only me, Bhishmadeva is telling, not only me, they also know the glories of Shri Krishna. Ordinarily, and Prabhupada writes, ordinarily, there are 12 great devotees of Lord, namely Brahma, Narada, Shiva, Kumara, Kapila, Manu, Prahlad, Bhishma, Janaka, Sukadeva Goswami, Bali Maharaj, and Yamraj. Bhishmadeva, although one of them, has mentioned only 3 important names of the 12 who know the glories of the Lord. So, Prabhujis and Matajis, if you are still doubtful, go ahead and read what these great devotees are telling and develop that faith and confidence and surrender your life. Further, Prabhupada writes, the Lord says, I put my devotee into difficulty, and thus the devotee becomes more purified in exchanging transcendental bhava with me. Placing the devotee into material troubles means delivering him from the illusionary material relations. So here Prabhupada clearly writes that if any one of us is going through a difficult situation in this life, that is for our own purification. It may be a material trouble at this point. We may be frustrated, but heart to heart, we should understand it's for my own purification and ultimate benefit of me that Lord has done it. I'd like to just give you a small example. Once upon a time, not once upon a time, very recently in the past, in one of the Western countries, there was a devotee, a lady devotee who was staying at her home, and she was found murdered, dead. And when everyone came, looked at, she was murdered, and there was chanting bag in her hand. And the whole devotee community was completely disturbed. What is this? Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita tells Kaunte Pratijanati Name Vraksha Pranashyati. Lord Krishna protects his devotee. So why Krishna didn't protect this lady? She is chanting, she is a devotee. Then why Krishna didn't protect? Everyone had a big question mark. Their faith was questioned. Prabhujis and Matajis, if that happens to anyone whom we know, will we have that question or not? Are, he was chanting. How come Krishna did that to him? Why Krishna let it happen? Will you have that question or not? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
Prabhu, we are clear, Prabhu.
So when you have that question, okay, let's go to that situation. In that situation, His Holiness Kadambakanand Swami Maharaj was there. And a great senior devotee also came there by the inconceivable arrangement of the Lord. Fortunately, His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj also came there. Now, it was an address by Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj to the entire congregation of devotees over there. And His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj told how Krishna protects a devotee is not decided just on the material platform. Krishna takes care of the soul. Externally, you may see the material body is destroyed, but the soul is completely taken care by the Lord. And that assurance was given, and everyone was so much pacified. And His Holiness Kadambakanand Swami Maharaj, in his recent class in Vrindavan, he was just narrating this incident of how His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj had that mercy of the Lord and that great conviction. And with that conviction, he was able to pacify and instill faith in all the devotees in that community. That is the greatness of Acharya. So, Prabhujis and Matajis, if the trouble comes, if you are seeing any devotee in trouble, because of our own condition, we are looking at the material situation. But believe, Krishna is taking care of the soul. Krishna knows what is right, what is wrong, and what is good for that soul. And if that soul is favorable to Krishna consciousness, Krishna is taking care of that soul. So that's what Prabhupada writes here. The Lord says, I put my devotee into difficulty, and thus devotee becomes purified, more purified in exchanging transcendental bhava with me. Placing the devotee into material trouble means delivering him from the illusionary material relationships. So at one point, every one of us are going to die. So when Krishna says, I will protect, it's not just the material body that Krishna will protect. Because at some point, Krishna, being that time Kala Rupa, is going to kill everyone's material body. That's bound to happen. But Krishna will take care of the soul. We are soul, we are not this body. This is the basic understanding of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna will protect our soul. Okay, so let's go ahead. Verse 22. Yes, despite his being equally kind to everyone, he has graciously come before me while I am ending my life. For I am his unflinching servitor. See, Bhishma Deva is confirming here. There can be many misunderstanding about Bhishma Deva, why he fought against Krishna. And some people may say, okay, just because he was eating the food of Duryodhana, he had that returning back or being faithful to Duryodhana, because of which he did it. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj tells that that is a superficial understanding. That is okay, but that's just a mundane, on a mundane platform. Bhishma Deva is one of the 12 Mahajans. Do you know who is the guru of Bhishma Deva? So Parshuram, yes, Parshuram taught him the art of war, art of fighting. Who is Parshuram? Shakti Vesh avatar of Lord Shri Krishna himself. Right? So when the Lord himself taught him the art of fighting, and once upon a time, when there was a fight between Bhishma Deva and his guru Parshuram, Parshuram was unable to defeat Bhishma Deva. So that was his power, almost equivalent to a Shakti Vesh avatar of the Lord. And then, now the next phase of it, he has learned the science of spirituality from, can anyone tell? Bhishma Deva learned the science of spirituality from whom?
Vyasdeva.
No, Brihaspati. That is again a topmost thing. So he had the fighting power from Parshuram. He had the intelligence from Brihaspati. He had everything qualified, very much qualified. But then what is he accepting? He is accepting that I am the Lord's unfringing servitor. Prabhujis and Matajis, we are very fortunate to have this parampara. And in the parampara, it is always taught to us, Gopi Padakamalyor Das Das Dasanudas. Do you think it is just for the saying this, tell us, and then, okay, we also tell, okay, I am Prabhuji, I am servant of your servant. That's all. No, it should be in our heart. And we should behave in that way. It's not just a saying. We should behave, we should put it into action. So what he is agreeing for, after all this, all the topmost capability anyone can imagine, that is what Bhishma Dev is. And everyone knew, if Bhishma Dev is fighting, we cannot kill him, we cannot win the war. That is the state. Okay? And what he is agreeing for, I am unflinching servitor of Shri Krishna. When such a great personality is agreeing, who are we? So if you still have some doubts that, okay, das anu das, but I want to be boss anu boss, please correct yourself. Correct the consciousness that no, this world is going headlong, going towards boss anu boss. But we are not going to be like that. We want to perfect our life in this life itself. And as Srila Prabhupada has assured all of us, we can go back home, back to Godhead in this lifetime only, given that we take up devotional service seriously. So Srila Prabhupada has given us a warranty card. Yes, here is the warranty card. Use it. It's up to us whether to break that warranty or to use it. So please think before next time you do an action. Okay, so now let's come back to why Bhishma Dev. This is the key, okay? Why Bhishma Dev fought against Krishna. So Bhishma Deva fought against Pandavas, who were the devotees of the Lord. Bhishma Deva shot arrows on Krishna. Okay? And Bhishma Deva was supporting Kauravas. He did everything as a servant of the servant of Lord Shri Krishna. And he know perfectly that Lord wants me to serve in this particular way, and I am going to serve him. No matter the whole world for the coming days will misunderstand me, but heart in heart, I know what I am doing is being his servant. And since Lord want to prove everyone that despite of such a capability, the highest topmost capability a person can have, we saw Parshuram, Brihaspati training Bhishmadeva with that supermost capabilities. Still, if Lord is not on your side, and if you are against the devotees of the Lord, you are bound to fail. That's what Krishna wants to prove. And he picked this personality. And Bhishmadeva here is revealing his heart that I am his unflinching servitor. Because of that reason, Bhishmadeva fought against Pandavas, being the servant. So once I was going to book distribution Nagar Sankirtan, and I met a devotee couple, and we had a brief discussion, and then we left for the day. The other day, I was going to a temple, and there was a senior devotee who came to the temple, and I was going to hear from him. And while I was going to the metro, I met this two devotee couple, again distributing books, and I asked, so Prabhuji, have you met your spiritual master? They said, yes, sometimes when their aspiring Guru Maharaj gives a seminar, they attended. Then I told, today in the temple, there is this senior devotee who has come. Did you go and meet him? And they told a very wonderful thing that struck me. And I think that is the mood which many of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada carry with them. The devotee couple distributing books told, by going there and just seeing them, I cannot render much service to them. Of course, if there is any service, I would be very happy to go and render service to them. But instead, if I am able to give one single book to one devotee, I think they are happy. In that way, I am serving them. I was mind blown. And His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj confirms this is in one of his class, which I heard, saying, many of Srila Prabhupada's disciples didn't hear to him directly. Prabhupada was traveling all around, and everyone didn't get the opportunity to directly serve Srila Prabhupada or be with him always. But they had this mood of servant of the servant of the servant, and in that cooperation, they all assisted Srila Prabhupada. That is the mood we all should carry. We all should try to serve and please. That is the only way, Prabhujis and Matajis, to please Krishna, to please our Guru, is the only way we can get some mercy, or else there is no chance. If you are thinking there is a plan B I can take, sorry, there is no plan B in this project of Krishna consciousness. There is only one way, is to please your Guru and Krishna. And it's not the way you want to please. It's the way what pleases them you should do. Correct? If the example is given, if someone who doesn't like, say, gulab jamun, he doesn't like it, but you like it very much. So you make 100 gulab jamun and bring it in front of him. Are you pleasing him? No. In the same way, it's not that what pleases you. And believe me, what pleases you might be boosting your false ego. And that pride can destroy you. But if you are taking the words of your Guru and Krishna so seriously and putting it in your life, and if you are trying to honestly and sincerely trying to please Guru and Krishna, that is the key of Krishna consciousness. How many of you agree? Or do you think, is there any plan B, Prabhujis and Matajis? Please tell me if there is any plan B. I would like to hear now. Hare Krishna, is there any plan B?
No problem.
So what are we waiting for? When we know there is only one way, and that is to please Guru and Krishna, what are we waiting for? Haribol. So take up seriously. Okay, so now what is our condition? The living entity has this tendency of falling down by the dint of misidentifying himself as fully independent of independent to lord it over the material world. That is our condition. Srila Prabhupada clearly tells, we have misidentified ourselves and we want to lord over the material world. The root cause of all troubles is there in false egotism. The false ego is the root of all, that I am superior to all. That is our false ego. And because of which we even criticize others. Are tu kya hai re? I am doing much better than you. See how he is doing, what all he is doing. One must draw towards the Lord in all circumstances. Is very important, and Prabhuji and Mataji is very difficult. The way we have to deal in the material world is completely opposite to the way we are supposed to be in spiritual circles or in spiritual world. Recently, I was asking His Grace Srinivas Acharya Prabhuji the same question. While we are working, while we are outside dealing with this material world, we have a completely opposite principles of what we have been taught and we should supposed to follow. So there is kind of duplicity, right? At one point in the spiritual circle, we have been told you have to be humble. You have to give up your ego. On the other side, we have to find faults, and being with everyone around us who are finding faults, we tend to be flowing in that same way. So should we retire fast? Retirement is not the criteria, okay? What I have understood is just retiring is again a material condition. What is important is to change the consciousness. And I would like to narrate a very simple and very profound story told by His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj. He told that there was a motu in a village, and this motu was most greedy person in the village. And during the season of mango, there was a very famous big ancient tree in that village, which was very famous for sweet, delicious mangoes. And every year, one special mango comes in that tree. On the topmost part of the tree, there is one special mango, which is very fleshy, very juicy, very tasty, the most best mango ever had. Okay. Now this greedy person wants to get that one mango and eat himself. So what he does, he somehow tries to run outside the village, climbs up the tree and just pluck that mango. Now after plucking the mango, that huge ancient mango tree, he sees down and he feels a fear of height. Now this Motu person is unable to come down because of his fear in his heart. And he started calling for help. Help, 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 help. And everyone in that village came out to see. First of all, they told, oh, what a greedy person you are. You wanted to enjoy that best fruit yourself, and hence you alone climbed up the tree. And now see what is your condition. But since we are the same villagers, it's our responsibility to help you out. So let us help him. So all the villagers started trying to help him. Okay, please catch that branch, put your left leg towards the side, please move yourself a little right, please turn around. Everyone was trying to give him. He was trying to do, and after some time again he used to sit down. Oh, I cannot do. It's too much high, and the fear overcomes him. Also, he has a big mango in his hand, which he doesn't want to leave. With all that, he's struggling. And there happens to be a sadhu passing by that village. And he saw all the villagers are crowded at one place. He just went there. He understood the situation of this greedy person, of what he's in. So that sadhu took a stone and hit on the tummy of that Motu. Pach! The sound came, and the Motu was surprised. Are, I'm in such a distressed condition, and what you are doing? You are hitting a stone on me, being a sadhu, that too. These villagers are much better. Why are you hitting stone on me? He shouted. The sadhu, he didn't speak anything. He just took another stone and pach! Again on the tummy. Now the greedy person was very angry. Hey, if you throw another stone, I'm going to come down and beat you. The sadhu was very happy. He took another stone. Pach! And the Motu person was so angry that in anger he came down. And as soon as he came down, he was searching for that sadhu. Where is that sadhu? Where is that sadhu? And all the villagers told, Arey Baba, you didn't realize? You are searching for that sadhu to beat him. But see what he has done to you. He has made you come down safely. Instead of beating him, you should be grateful and surrender to that sadhu. That sadhu has already walked away without any expectation. But see yourself. And he realized. And this is the transformation, Prabhujis and Matajis, a sadhu can bring in us. The sadhu can completely transform our consciousness. So right now, I am in that greedy stage, like that Motu in that village, who is completely lust, anger, greed, envy, jealous, completely into the material condition, struggling. But we have the hope, we have the faith that the sadhu, the great devotees of the Lord, the Vaishnava, this association of devotees is going to transform our consciousness. That is going to happen. And with that transformation, we all can be like Bhishmadev. One day living our body in full consciousness of the Lord. That can happen to us only by the association of sadhu. Okay, so let's go ahead. So here, Arjuna
Prabhuji, amazing example, Prabhuji. Really, it was so beautiful. Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you to His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj. I'm also so much inspired by him. Thank you, Prabhuji. It's by all of your association that I'm little bit transformed. What I can see myself 5-10 years down the line versus what I am today. I see some transformation in me, and that gives the faith that yes, if I continue in the same association, surely one day we can live this body like Bhishmadeva left in full consciousness of Krishna. That is possible. Yes, that is possible. And as Srila Prabhupada has gave us the warranty card, you can go back home, back to Godhead in this lifetime. Yes, that is possible. Have faith in Acharya. That's what everyone did. And we also need to do. No diversions. Okay. So Arjuna had some material relationship with Krishna because Lord happened to be his maternal cousin. But Bhishma Deva had no such bodily relation. Therefore, the cause of attraction was due to intimate relation of the soul. So Prabhujis and Matajis, we may think that on the material platform, I don't have any connection to Krishna. And it is possible that when we are living the body, there is a big wall between we and Krishna. And we never overcome that wall. And we cannot do at the moment of death. We cannot suddenly shift our consciousness at the time of death. We have to prepare for dying. We have to change our consciousness from today. It's already late, but at least today, remove that wall between you and Krishna and just understand the relationship, the loving relationship of the soul towards Krishna. That's what here Srila Prabhupada is telling us. Bhishma Deva didn't had any physical relationship, but it's the relationship of the soul that attracted Krishna to come to Bhishma Deva. The best way to establish our relation in transcendental sweetness is to approach him through his recognized devotees. Now Srila Prabhupada went ahead and gave us the formula also. The best way to establish our relationship in transcendental sweetness is to approach him through his recognized devotees. Now, in this context, just a small how contaminated I am and how much what I can say, hypocrisy I had in my mind. So one day what happened, I went to Warangal where my Shiksha Guru, His Grace Sakshi Achyut Prabhuji, he preaches in NIT Warangal. So I went there one weekend, around 6 years down. And over there, he asked me to just read one prayer, bhajan of, I think, Lochandas Thakur or someone. At the end, every Acharya writes, Kaho he Lochandasa, right? So every Acharya writes from the heart, what is their feeling? And I am writing with deep, topmost of my emotion. This is what I am giving to you, oh Krishna. In that way they write. Okay. I was reading it. I was just reading it randomly. After Prabhuji told me, after some time he went, and then I was reading randomly. I thought, okay, Krishna, this prayer is very good. Why don't I praise you? Why should I say, Kaho he Lochandasa? Why not Kaho he Mahalingam Iyer? Oh, very good, na? I can just steal the words of Acharya and put my name at the bottom from. In internet world, it's very common. I can just copy so many things from internet, create my own word. I can create my own blog. So the same tendency I was carrying in this subject also. And I went to His Grace Sakshi Achyut Prabhuji and told, Prabhuji, this prayer till last line is okay, but last line I want to replace. I want to tell, Kaho he Mahalingam Iyer. Can I do that? Because I am offering this prayer now, right? And Prabhuji told, if you do that, this whole prayer will have no meaning. I told, why, Prabhuji? Prabhuji tell, because these are the feelings, these are the emotion of that Acharya. And you don't have it right now in you. You may have to develop it over a period of time, but you don't have it now. Correct? And Lord likes his devotees to be glorified. And when you glorify the devotee, Lord is more pleased. So by taking the name of Lochandas Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, when you are glorifying them, Lord is more pleased than you directly glorifying the Lord. So in that way, when he explained me, I was completely mind blown. And when I thought about myself, I felt, wow, how contaminated I am. I want to just steal others' work, put it on my name, and say that, oh Lord, I also have a devotion like them. No, that is not correct. And Prabhupada is clearly instructing me here again today. After so many years, the best way to establish our relation is in the transcendental sweetness is to approach him through his recognized devotees. So, Prabhujis and Matajis, ISKCON has given us such a wonderful opportunity. So many devotees in the parampara. It's all there. We have to make use of it. There are recognized devotees around us. Just few kilometers around us, there are devotees. Are we taking best use of it? Are we serving them? Are we pleasing them? That is the question we have to ask ourselves and go ahead. And His Grace Radhesham Prabhuji, in one of his class, Bhagavatam class in Hyderabad, he told, he was just giving the class, and at the end of the class, somehow, I don't remember in which context, but he told that just listening to the class and living is not good. It's not correct. If you are really serious and honest, you should follow what is being told in the class. Wow. Till that point, before he told that, I was very happy listening to his class. Because whatever instructions he is giving, I was just hearing, right? It was very easy to hear. Oh, yes. Correct. Yeah, I think we have to be like that. Okay. But when he told this ending statement that it's not just listening, it's not just hearing, it's implementing. It's doing what is being told. That touched my heart. Prabhujis and Matajis, if we are coming to the satsang, just hearing ISKCON se USKCON, ISKCON se USKCON, it's not going to help. Srila Prabhupada, devotional service, bhakti is equal to devotional service. That's what he has instructed us. It's the active service we all have to do. It could be chanting, hearing, helping other devotees preach. It could be anything to please our Guru and Krishna. And when we are living this life in this way, the end of our life, we are successful. Okay, so quickly, 23rd verse. Here, Bhishmadeva is telling what is yoga. Yoga, actually, Srila Prabhupada is telling us, yoga means concentration of mind, detached from all other subject matter. And actually, such concentration is samadhi, or 100% engagement in the service of the Lord. And one who concentrates his attention in that manner is called a yogi. Such a yogi devotee of the Lord engages himself 24 hours daily in the service of the Lord, so that his whole attention is engrossed with the thoughts of the Lord in ninefold devotional service, namely hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, praying, becoming a voluntary servant, carrying out orders, establishing a friendly relationship, or offering all that one may possess in the service of the Lord. So, Prabhujis and Matajis, this is what we have been discussing. So, service, one of the ninefold devotional service we have to do at any cross section of our life. These are the words of His Grace Radhesham Prabhuji. At any cross section of the life, if there is a wire, if you cut it, and if you see from the top part, you see the round circle with the radius, that is the cross section. Okay, when you cut, that is the cross section when you cut. So if this is our life timeline, if you cut at any cross section, you should say that if I cut here, I was doing devotional service. If I cut here, I am doing devotional service. If I cut here, I am doing devotional service. That is the mood we all should carry. That is what is a correct yoga. or complete yoga. Verse 26. Self-realization is distinguished from life of lower animals. So here, Bhishma Deva is instructing Yudhishthir Maharaj, what is a civilized, who is a civilized person, what are his qualities. So here, Srila Prabhupada is further telling us, self-realization is distinguished from the life of lower animals engaged in eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. Bhishma Deva advised for all human beings 9 qualifications. 1, not to become angry. We all become angry. Not to lie. We all lie. 2, equally distribute wealth. No, we only collect wealth. We don't distribute wealth. To forgive. No, everyone should forgive me, but I will not forgive anyone. How can he do that? How can he do any mistake? 5th, to beget children only by one's legitimate wife. To be pure in mind and hygienic in body. Not to be inimical towards anyone. To be simple. To support servants or subordinates. One cannot be a civilized person without acquiring the above mentioned preliminary qualities. Prabhujis and Matajis, I think with this qualification, with these 9 clear points, I think we are, at least I can tell, I am not even a civilized person. The only hope is this association of devotee. Without my knowing, I can become civilized. Without putting my own endeavor, just by their association, how that sadhu transformed that motu, I can be transformed. Okay. Verse 30, the subject matter which attracts the dying man becomes the beginning of his next life. Therefore, if one is absorbed in the thoughts of Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, he is sure to go back to Godhead without any doubt. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 8.5 to 15. And wow, all this 8.5 to 15. Let's read only one. And whoever at the time of death quits his body, remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt. Who is telling this? Supreme Personality of God to all of us. So Prabhujis and Matajis, we have to prepare for death. And all our acharyas have shown us, they have prepared for their whole life. Srila Prabhupada underwent so much struggle, and till the last breath, he dictated Srimad Bhagavatam, and in that consciousness, he left his body. Why did he do that? For all of us to set an example. His Holiness Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj, he was narrating Gaur Katha, and he left his body. Now, His Holiness Kadambakanand Swami Maharaj is suffering from cancer, I think, and he is almost in his last stage. And hence, he flew from Europe to India in Vrindavan. And he is there for all of us. And he is instructing by his own example. Once, His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj and Kadambakanand Swami Maharaj, both are very close friends. And His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj was telling this in one of his class, that now when His Holiness Kadambakanand Swami Maharaj knew that he just has few months, His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj, I am just referring to my own notes also so that I don't diverge here. So His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj asked, whom? His Holiness Kadambakanand Swami Maharaj, how do you feel now that you just have few months left? And His Holiness Kadambakanand Swami Maharaj replies, Maharaj, I have full faith in Krishna and his mercy. He will come. He will not forget me. These are not just an ordinary statement. His Holiness Kadambakanand Swami Maharaj knew that he is going to pass away in few months, and what a strong conviction he is having in his heart. And this is a conversation between two devotees who are so close to each other, and they are revealing their heart. In that true heart, what is there? Complete faith on the mercy of Lord Shri Krishna. That's what His Holiness Kadambakanand Swami Maharaj is carrying. And further, he tells, His Holiness Kadambakanand Swami Maharaj tells Sachinandan Swami Maharaj that, for me, death is like a door. I am not afraid of it. Hare Krishna. What is that art of death that is taught to us by the example of these great devotees, Prabhuji and Mataji? He's saying death is just like a door for me. I'm just passing by this, going to spiritual world. That is in his heart. Hari Bol, what a great realization, right? How can we get such a confidence and faith in Krishna? Not easy unless we endeavor ourselves and prove Krishna honestly and sincerely, please our Guru and Krishna. Only then we can have that faith. So start today if you have still not done it. I know you all are doing it. I am not doing it. And now, what is the next example His Holiness Kadambakanand Swami Maharaj is setting? He's, after few months or few days, I don't know, but he's going to completely cut off from internet, not using internet. And he's going to completely get immersed into Srimad Bhagavatam. That's what he's going to do. And that's why he's in Vrindavan. That is another example to all of us. We should get immersed into Srimad Bhagavatam. And in that mood, we should live our body. For that, we have to struggle. We have to really take out time. We have to read. We have to study, not read. Okay. His Grace Srinivas Acharya Prabhuji corrected me. You should not read, you should study Srila Prabhupada books. So we have to study. And His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj asked His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, can you in one word explain what is Krishna consciousness? And His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj replies, absorption. Absorption is Krishna consciousness. Absorption in Krishna, absorption in whatever service we are doing. We have to be absorbed. If we are studying Srimad Bhagavatam, get absorbed. If you are studying Bhagavad Gita, get absorbed. If you are doing some DCS Seva, get absorbed. If you are physically assisting any devotee, get absorbed. There is no difference. And His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj tells, Arjuna, on the side of Pandavas, fighting the war, winning the war, is not different from Bhishma Deva, losing the war, dying there, and being on the side of Kauravas against the Lord, against the devotees of the Lord. There is no difference. That is devotional service. In that mood of servant of the servant of the servant, what Bhishma Deva is doing is not easy. That is a great pain he is undergoing, being a servant of the Lord. For what? For pleasing him. And hence he is so grateful that despite of all this, Lord has came to see me. So I am so grateful to the Lord. In further words, we will see how Bhishma Deva is expressing his gratitude. Let me now invest my thinking, feeling, willing, which were so long engaged in different subjects and occupational duties, in the all-powerful Lord Shri Krishna. Now Bhishma Deva is almost coming to end, saying, till now I have been engaged in so many things. Now I want to withdraw everything and focus completely. What does this completely means? Thinking, feeling, and willing. Those are the three qualities of a soul. And he wants to completely focus all three towards what? Towards Lord Shri Krishna. Prabhuji and Mataji, it's not going to be easy if you want to do this. We all, if we are aspiring to die like Bhishma Dev, we should do this. Thinking, feeling, and willing towards Krishna at the time of our death. And it is only possible if we live a life like that, or else it's not possible. I am saying this, I myself am afraid. How will I do that? And my only key formula is not only me, what is given by Srila Prabhupada is to please Guru and Krishna. Only in that way we can achieve this. Only in that way we can be engaged throughout our life. And because of that engagement alone, at the time of death, we can do this. If we allow ourselves to be independent, surely we will be fooling ourselves. In the name of bhakti, we will do sense gratification. So don't take your mind thoughts as a priority. Please try to please Guru and Krishna. In that way, you can achieve this state. Okay, and then here Bhishmadev takes this opportunity to address the Lord as Vijaya Sakhe Ratirastume. Vijaya Sakhe, friend of Arjuna, because the Lord is pleased when he is addressed conjointly with his devotees who are related with him in different transcendental humors. So remember, what pleases Krishna is not you jumping on top of the Acharya and going and saying, hey Krishna, I became a devotee, now you take me, now I made you happy. No, that is not going to make Lord happy. You have to have that mood of servant, and in that servant mood you have to please your Guru, Acharya, and that will please Krishna. You cannot jump over your Acharya. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj was telling, you should not jump on top of Acharya. Suppose Acharya has told 16 rounds, 4 regulative principles, okay, 9 process of devotional service. All these are given by Acharyas. If you are jumping ahead and saying, no, what is this? I like only bhajan, I will do only bhajan. No, Baba. What Acharya has given, you should follow it. It's not what you like will please Krishna. Of course, bhajan is glorifying Lord. It will please Krishna. But if you are not doing your 16 rounds and saying, okay, because bhajan is going to please Krishna, I am going, that is jumping over Acharya. You are thinking you are more than what Acharya has given you. That means you are feeding your false ego. You are feeding your pride. And that is not going to help. So please don't jump over Acharyas, over the Guru. If a Siksha Guru gives an instruction, don't jump on top of it and override it saying, no, I think like that, so I will do like this. No. In army, earlier after my college, I attended a couple of SSB interviews. I was aspiring to join army. And one day I came to know how they train army personnel. The initial training, I may be wrong also, but what I have heard and understood is initial days, they deliberately make you do what you don't want to do. Your superiors will instruct you what is not correct, what you think is correct, they will not allow you to do. They will just reverse the instruction. They will just say you to bring a water and immediately they will say, no, I don't need water. Something like that. I'm just giving you an example. So why do they do that? So that your ego is completely crushed. And at one point you say, I am now surrendered, Baba. You tell me what to do, I will do. That doesn't mean the individuality is lost. Okay. They have their own intelligence. They have to use their brain. They have to be smart enough to solve the problems. But they should be surrendered. When the time comes, when they get an instruction, they get an order, that's it. There is no thinking beyond it. They have to do it. They are trained like that. So we have to train ourselves. If Srila Prabhupada has told 16 rounds, 16 rounds. There is no less than 16 rounds. And remember, Srila Prabhupada told minimum 16 rounds. So it's, you can do more, but not less. So we have to not jump over the instructions of Acharyas or even our Shiksha Gurus. Okay. Hare Krishna. the Lord, being the supreme living being, is never the order supplier or order carrier of anyone. This is in context when Arjuna asked Krishna to take the chariot in between the two armies. That time, Srila Prabhupada is writing in that context that Krishna is not an order supplier or order carrier, but just out of his causeless mercy and affection for his pure devotee. Sometimes he carries out the order of devotee like an awaiting servant. Sab bolo sab, kya karna hai? Bolo bolo. Immediately karta hu. That's how Krishna is behaving. By executing order of the devotee, the Lord becomes pleased. And what is doing? It's pleasing the Lord. As the father is pleased to carry out the order of his small child. We all know this example. We all do this also. Ghoda banna, gada banna. Yesterday I was being a cat for my daughter. Meow, meow. And she was just putting a rope and pulling me out. This is possible only out of pure transcendental love between the Lord and his devotee. And Bhishmadeva was quite aware of this fact. He therefore addressed the Lord as the friend of Arjuna. So here Bhishmadeva addressed Lord as the friend of Arjuna because he is more pleased. Krishna is more pleased when he is addressed so. That's why, to please Krishna. And then the Bhagavad Gita was delivered to the conditioned soul of the world to deliver them from the wrong conception of identifying the body with the soul and to re-establish the soul's eternal relation with the Supreme Lord. That is why Bhagavad Gita is given to us. Srila Prabhupada is writing, Atma Vidya, or transcendental knowledge of himself, was primarily spoken by the Lord for the benefit of all concerned in all parts of universe. It is for all, for our benefit. So we should read, study regularly. Fulfilling my woe and sacrificing his own promise, he got down from chariot, took up its wheel and ran towards me hurriedly. Just as a lion goes to kill an elephant, he even dropped his outer garment on the way. So this is the situation when Krishna charged over Bhishmadev with a wheel of the chariot. So here Prabhupada explains how Krishna took a vow that he will not lift the weapon. And Bhishma told that, okay, now I am going to kill Arjuna if at all Krishna doesn't lift his weapon. And almost Arjuna was killed. He was lying down. And at that time, Krishna, out of his transcendental anger, he just took the wheel out of the chariot and charged over Bhishma. And Bhishmadev is remembering that at his time of death and saying, wow, what a nice incident. What a nice sight it was. Ran towards me hurriedly, just like a lion charging on an elephant. And during that, the outer garment of Krishna was just thrown out. And he didn't care. He was just running towards Bhishma. And remember, Bhishma is fighting a war. And he is just so consciously, 100% remembering of how the outer garment of Krishna flew away. And Krishna didn't care about it. And Bhishmadev was just standing, giving up his weapon, saying, Krishna, if you want to kill me, you kill me. Because I am your servant. You know heart in heart who I am. So you can do it. No problem. That's how Bhishmadev was surrendered. And verse 39, a pure devotee of Lord constantly sees the presence of the Lord within himself because of being transcendently related by loving service. Such a pure devotee cannot forget the Lord for a moment. This is called trance. So trance mein chale jana, trance mein chala gaya. People use it little cheaply, but Prabhupada clearly gives the definition of what is trance. Constantly sees the presence of the Lord within himself because of being transcendently related by loving service. That's how he is related by loving service to the Lord, and he constantly sees the presence of the Lord, and he cannot forget the Lord. That's how he can be in trance. Anyone can be in trance, samadhi. Let my mind be fixed upon Lord Shri Krishna, whose motions and smiles of love attracted the damsels of Rajdham, the gopis. The damsels imitated the characteristic movements of the Lord after his disappearance from the rasa dance. Bhishma's aspiration to remember the gopis is a prayer to have their mercy. Also, that at the last stage of his life, the Lord is satisfied more when his pure devotee are glorified. And therefore, Bhishma Deva has not only glorified the acts of Arjuna, his immediate object of attraction, but has also remembered gopis who were endowed with unreal opportunities for rendering loving service to the Lord. So gopis, here it is proved that gopis are far great devotees of the Lord. And even Bhishma Dev is remembering them. For what? To have their mercy. And His Holiness Kadamba Kanand Swami Maharaj also told, why am I here in Vrindavan Dham? Because I know I am going to go away in some time. And I need to collect mercy. So he gives an example of when he was in his early days, one of the god brother of Srila Prabhupada, I'm suddenly remembering this example, just wanted to share this quick one. So His Holiness Kadamba Kanand Swami Maharaj was giving a class in Vrindavan, which I was hearing, and in that he's mentioning this. In his early days, there was a class organized by the god brother of Srila Prabhupada, who was more than 100 years old, maybe around 120 or something, I don't remember it rightly, but he was very old. He was unable to walk on himself. He was just brought by his devotees and was placed on the Vyasasana. Very thin, very lean. He just had his bones, nothing else. And the god brother of Srila Prabhupada slowly folded his hands and prayed to each one of the devotees that Srila Prabhupada has made all of you such a great Vaishnavas. Now I am in front of you with folded hands. Please bless me. I want all your mercy. Everyone over there was shocked. What a humility. God brother of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada himself is so unimaginable. He was so powerful. He is such a great Acharya and God brother of Srila Prabhupada. And what is he doing? In his such an old age, so much senior Vaishnava, he's folding his hands and asking for mercy and blessings for himself. From whom? From the devotees who have been made devotees by Srila Prabhupada, who came from West and all over the world. That was the assembly, and to them he is begging for mercy. That is the same mood Bhishma Dev is carrying here. He is saying, I remember those gopis to get their mercy. Same mood His Holiness Kadamba Kanand Swami Maharaj is having right now. In front of us, we can see him. And what he is doing? He folded his arms in front of the entire assembly. When I was hearing that, he folded his arms and asked, I remember, it was in Europe, at some part of Europe, and he was giving a farewell message. He just didn't had a return ticket from Vrindavan. As Lilananda Prabhuji says, no return ticket from Vrindavan. He had that opportunity. And he had just one-way ticket to Vrindavan. He is not coming back. Everyone knows it. And everyone is so dear to him. And to all of them, many of them are his disciples there. And to them, he is folding and asking for mercy. That is the example he is setting himself right now in this day and age. Prabhuji and Matajis, how much pride do we have? We don't even fold our hands in front of our Guru. What to speak of our subordinates or our peers? A big coconut tree. that one devotee whom I met in metro station, he was telling, we all carry a big coconut tree on our head. And by doing Nagar Sankirtan, by doing book distribution, this coconut tree is cut down by Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Maharaj. That is being cut down. So we should do it more and more. So we all have it, we don't do it, but all of them are teaching us today that we should do it. Okay, we should pray for the mercy. And for that reason, His Holiness Kadamba Kanand Swami Maharaj is in Vrindavan to have that mercy, to have that blessings, and many other acharyas. Okay, let's quickly go another 2 more. Now I can meditate with full concentration upon that one Lord, Shri Krishna, now present before me, because I have transcended the misconceptions of the duality in regard to his presence in everyone's heart, even in the hearts of the mental speculator. He is in everyone's heart. This is the conclusion. He is in everyone's heart. The sun may be perceived differently, but the sun is one. The worshipable object of Bhishma Dev is Lord Krishna, Lord Shri Krishna as Partha Sarathi. So all along, Bhishma Dev was describing how Krishna is. He's wearing the yellow garment. He was running, charging on me with the wheel. His outer garment flew away. And what Bhishma Dev was saying, Krishna is a Partha Sarathi, and it's his worshipable object. We all should carry a worshipable object in our heart, which is very dear to us, which attracts us most. We should have that in our life, and we should remember it again and again. We should practice it in our life such that at the moment of our death, we can focus completely, thinking, feeling, and willing on Krishna, on that worshipable object. I remember His Grace Lilananda Prabhuji telling us how Shri Radha Gopi Vallabha are the deities in US, which were so dear to him and his family, has appeared now in his home. Prabhuji and Mataji, don't even go to Vrindavan. We have an example right here in Gachibowli. In between us, Krishna is there to reciprocate. That's the object, worshipable object of Lilananda Prabhuji's entire family. And Krishna reciprocated by appearing to them. Right? So similarly, we should also have our object of worship as Lord Shri Krishna and practice continuously, daily. Now, in this regard of Partha Sarathi, just a few minutes. So there is a temple in Chennai, in the main city, Triple Cane. So nowadays, by the mercy of my wife, I have been frequently traveling to Chennai, Kumbakonam. And during my visit, I get few hours gap between the train, and I'm trying to visit this temple very frequently. Somehow I'm getting attracted to this temple, and here is what His Grace Lalit Mohan Prabhuji, I was thinking, this is one of the Divya Desham. And last time I went there, I prayed for His Grace Namkeshwar Prabhuji also. So this is the temple of Partha Sarathi temple, okay, in Triple Cane, Chennai, just besides the beach, Chennai beach, okay. And there are 5 types of Lord here, standing, which is the main deity, Partha Sarathi. You see this photo? This is Partha Sarathi temple. This is the main deity there, and it's in a standing position. And this is the only deity, I'll try to focus it. This is the only deity which has mustache. The Lord has mustache. No other deity in the world has this mustache deity of the Lord Shri Krishna. This is the only temple where it is. And once in a year, this mustache is removed and they give a darshan. That is the beauty. And this Parthasarathi temple, Lord observed, so there are 5 types of Lord. Standing, this is standing Lord. Sitting, there is a Narsimhadev in the same temple, in the sitting position. Sleeping, Ranganatha Swami is also there in the same temple. Flying, when Lord gave moksha to Gajendra, the flying Lord, that is also there. And there is also Lord Rama, who walked in the forest. So standing, sitting, sleeping, flying, walking, all the 5 types of Lord is there in that temple. So I recommend all of you to please visit the temple whenever you get the opportunity. Lord observed arrows shot by Bhishma aimed at Arjuna and sustained injuries. So the prasadam is made with lot of ghee, and this ghee prasadam is offered to the Lord so that his injuries are healed. That is the mood of devotee. That is how they take care of the Lord. His scars can be healed, and that's how this ghee is going to heal. So I'm making this prasadam. Such a wonderful mood. It's just besides the ocean, and one of the alvar sang that the ladies in this area who are worshipping the Lord is more prominent than the male. So the ladies are given more prominence by the alvar for this temple. I don't know for what reason, but it's so special. And it's standing position with mustache, and once in a year the mustache is removed. In one hand you have Panchajanya, which is blown by the Lord. He doesn't have any weapon because he is in the Parthasarathi role. And another hand showing the lotus feet of the Lord, so that we all should surrender at his lotus feet. And it is also called Venkata Krishnan. Why? Because there was a king who went to Tirupati. He prayed to Tirupati Lord Balaji, saying, "Oh Lord, you are showing the four-handed form to me. I want to see the two-handed loving form of you. Please bless me." He prayed there. And the Lord told, "Arey Baba, I am in the Vigraha form here, in four-handed form. I cannot change just like that and give you two-handed form darshan. So what I tell you is, go to this place. There is a kund there. Do tapasya. And at that place, I will give you darshan in two-handed form." And during the same time, Vyasa Acharya, Vyasa Maharshi, he had this deity. He made this deity by his own hands. He made this deity and gave it to one of his disciples, Arthyar. That is the disciple name. And he told, "Go to this place in the southern part, and worship this deity." This is the same place where Lord Tirupati Balaji sent that king also. And that's how this deity was blessing both the wonderful devotee. So hence this temple is, the deity is also called as Parthasarathi Venkata Krishnan, because Lord Venkateshwara in Tirupati Balaji showed the form of Krishna to that king at this place in this form, in two-handed form. Okay. And he doesn't have any weapon. He's in the Parthasarathi Vesha. The lake here is very special because it doesn't have any fish, because one of the rishi who was meditating in that lake found that there are many fishes around and they are having their families. So the rishi was afraid. Looking at them, I can develop some lust of having a family. So maybe, and what he did, he just told all the fishes, I just request you to go out of this kund so that I can peacefully do my tapasya. And all the fishes went out. Maybe they might be going to the nearby ocean very happily, but they all agreed to the rishi's request. So the speciality of the lake, no fishes. And Lord also carries the tayar on his chest. And there is also Rukmini Devi and his brother Balram. So Lord appears here with his entire family, grandson, brother, everyone is there. So very beautiful darshan. We all should sometime go and visit the temple. Very nearby Chennai station, Egmore or Central, anywhere you can. And Lalit Mohan Prabhuji, you can just help us if you want. You can, because this is one of the 108 Divya Desham. That's why I told I will be taking your help. So maybe you can tell that.
Regarding what, Prabhuji? The temple.
Yes. You know most of it, right, Prabhuji?
I know what you have said only, Prabhuji, not more than that.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
no problem.
But one Alvar was staying there. That what is it? Tirupani Alvar was here, near Triplicane, in this temple, Parthasarathi temple.
Correct.
That's what I know. Nothing more than that, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. All right. So verse 43. Thus Bhishma Deva merged himself in the super soul, Lord Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, with his mind, speech, sight, and actions. And thus he became silent and his breathing stopped. The devotional service of the Lord consists of the 9 principles of service activities, and they are hearing, chanting, remembering, serving the lotus feet, worshipping, praying, executing orders, fraternizing, and fully surrendering. I don't know the meaning of this. I even need to get it. The first item, hearing, is most important item of all, and therefore hearing of Bhagavad Gita and later on Srimad Bhagavatam is essential for the serious candidate who wants to attain the stage of Bhishma Deva at the end. So that is the goal, to attain the stage of Bhishma Deva at the end. For that you have to hear. Okay. The unique situation of Bhishma Deva's time of death can be attained even though Lord Krishna may not be personally present. So it can be happening for us, even if Lord Krishna is not personally present, it can happen. His words of Bhagavad Gita or those of Srimad Bhagavatam are identical to the Lord. They are sound incarnation of the Lord, and one can fully utilize them to be entitled to attain the stage of Sri Bhishma Deva. See what a beautiful analogy here. Not analogy, it's the statement made by Srila Prabhupada. The Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam are identical to the Lord. Recently, His Grace Lilananda Prabhuji was telling, Bhagavatam, we are installing it in the temples. It's equivalent to installing a deities. And Srila Prabhupada is telling it here. It's identical to the Lord. And although Lord is not present physically here in front of us, but he is present through Srimad Bhagavatam, through Bhagavad Gita. And we can take utilization of that. And that's why I think His Holiness Kadamba Kanand Swami Maharaj want to cut off from internet and get completely immersed into Srimad Bhagavatam, because he has this firm conviction on these words of Srila Prabhupada. Every man or animal must die at a certain stage of life. But one who dies like Bhishma Deva attains perfection, and one who dies forced by the laws of nature dies like an animal. That is the difference between a man and an animal. The human form of life is especially meant for dying like Bhishma Deva. This is the purpose of human life. So this is the art of dying Srila Prabhupada has taught us. Okay, so it's 9:15, 7:15 to 9:15. Any questions, suggestion, comments, and anything I have spoken, please, which doesn't suit or befit you or is wrong, please forgive me. It's my own limitation, contamination. Please forgive me, just like your son, brother. And whatever you might have liked, I know everything is taken by Srila Prabhupada and Acharya, whom I am been hearing. So if at all there is any mistake in this, it's my own mixing and my own interpretations. If you liked anything, all the words of Acharyas, so I'm very grateful to them. What they have given to us, it's really invaluable. We cannot repay them back. What we can do and what is the plan A only I have is to please Guru and Krishna in the way they want to be pleased, not in the way I want to please them. In the way they want to get pleased, I want to please them. So in that mode, I humbly beg mercy and blessing from each one of you that someday I would be engaged in devotional service and live my life in such a way that at the end of the life, I can be like Bhishma Deva. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So I'm also collecting mercy from all of you. Please give me mercy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Very wonderful class, Prabhu. The Vishmadeva prayers we read all the time, but with the conviction that you put in today is very strong. Hopefully we'll all get there. Hopefully I'll get there.
You are there, Prabhuji. You already carry that consciousness. Please bestow some mercy on me also. By your association, you do so much service. we really can't match your enthusiasm to serve Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Wonderful lecture, Prabhuji. The best part is, Prabhuji, you listen a lot of lectures from a lot of Maharajas and you bring in all the essence. And I'm learning personally that, a lot from you when you tell the stories and the statements they make. And then, Prabhuji, you are a very high level devotee. You are really in a very good path. And a lot of realizations you have. Wonderful, Prabhuji, and wonderful to listen to your lecture. And, one day I'll also get to the conviction you had. Prabhuji. Wonderful, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
So when you say high level devotee, you sorted it in the reverse order, right, Prabhuji? So I am the lowest.
Very sincere and very. Shravanam is very good. Your Shravanam is really good. Thank you very much for all the.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this opportunity, Prabhuji. Somehow, two sections in Bhagavatam is very much attractive to me. One is this Bhishma Deva and another is Gajendra Moksha. Both the prayers I have been reading, reciting, and frequently doing that. And somehow you called me and told that can you take this chapter? I was really shocked. What is this? How Krishna is reciprocating. I am really surprised and really know that yes, Krishna is there. Although recently I have been not be able to attend satsang so regularly, but from heart I felt that yes, Krishna is there. Krishna is there in this satsang, as Lilananda Prabhuji says. He is there in middle of us. He is orchestrating everything. It's not we, it's Krishna. He is there.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the wonderful class and thank you for taking us to Parthasarathi temple. It's a very, very beautiful temple. I have visited it once and it's really, really amazing.
Yes, Prabhuji. Very nearby.
Yeah, very near to that station, as you said.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you for wonderful class, Prabhuji, because I always inspired by your class, Prabhuji, because you speak very, very wonderful class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
So all your thanks and credit goes to all those acharyas who have spoken this. I'm just trying to repeat. So whatever it is, it's all for those great acharyas.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me, Prabhuji? Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Am I audible?
Yes.
No, I am very grateful that you so nicely prepared for the class, Prabhuji. And it was a very, very enlivening and encouraging motivational class of Srimad Bhagavatam for me. And I'm sure everybody else felt like that. I can clearly see the reflections. I would like to reflect on one thing, that preachers means the people who speak from heart, right? When His Holiness Gorgovind Maharaj says, preaching means when the milk boils out of the vessel, right? The milk is put on the vessel, it boils and boils and boils and boils, then it foams out. That what foams out is preaching, right? So the preacher is already satisfied. The preacher is filled with Krishna consciousness, and then when it falls out, that is real preaching. I mean, that really comes out. That he cannot keep himself inside. It is too much for him to keep it inside. It comes out, right? That is preaching. And he said more than any good presentation or anything, it is the language of heart. Preaching means speaking from one heart to another heart, right? So when I look at you, I see that you also speak from heart, and that's a very, 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 very essential ingredient for preaching. If you speak from brain or your mind, Krishna will not speak. But when you speak from heart, Krishna speaks, because Krishna is in the heart. Krishna is not in our brain. Krishna, his Deshe Arjuna Tishtati, he is in our heart, right? So it's a very essential thing that whatever we are preaching, it should come from our heart. And I really see that whenever I hear to you, that you always speak from heart. And because you speak from heart, you are able to remember, or rather Krishna is giving you the remembrance of everything that you heard in the recent past or in the past from your Siksha Gurus or Diksha Gurus or, everybody, whatever you hear, it comes out. And it comes out at the right time with the right example. Today, your examples were very nice. The quotations of different sannyasi Maharajas in our society was really very, very nice. It is so, and if someone thinks, how is he able to remember all that? The simple thing is you are speaking from your heart. If you are speaking from your heart, everything gets, comes out because Krishna is sitting in the heart. So I really want to wish you all the best and, continue this heart-to-heart discussion that you always have with everyone in your services of especially going on Sankirtan, which we are not doing in Gachibowli Satsang, which I feel that is something that's really missing. Hopefully, by your inspiration, we'll do it. We'll start doing it one day. And what is that? The Mridanga learning, the Karta learning, we're all preparing for that. And when we reach a decent stage, we'll also get onto the streets with our Sankirtan. But that's where the heart of Prabhupada is, Sankirtan. Right? Book distribution, Sankirtan, Prashadam distribution, and preaching. So, and of course, chanting the holy names. So thank you very much, Prabhuji. I'm very, very grateful. And it was a very, very nice class. You made us hear from so many great souls through your class. Thank you, Prabhuji. And one second. You're like a desire fulfilling tree.
You are there,
All desires
Prabhuji.
fulfilled.
You are that tree, big mango tree for all of us.
No, that Mota fellow was me only on the tree. An example is so instructive in so many ways, right? So many ways it is so instructive. The stone also represents the instructions of Guru. The stone also represents the corrections of the Guru, which no disciple likes, but that is what makes them get over, their weaknesses. So there is so much you can learn from that beautiful story of mango and the sage that you told. Really, I'm going to repeat it many times now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Yeah, anybody else? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. It was really a wonderful session. The thought-provoking instances or the examples always the Iyer Prabhu gives, it will fix in mind. I'll keep sharing with my daughter and she remembers. And whenever they see or they come across the examples, they will again think. So it's really grateful for Iyer Prabhu to listen to him and join for his sessions. Dhanvat Pranam Prabhu.
It's not Iyer Prabhuji, it's all those acharyas. I know.
But rendering the message is more important, Prabhu. So that cannot happen with everyone. So we are all not same. But the things which fix in our mind, it's very difficult to fix. So you are doing that job. It's really awesome and grateful to you. Sir.
I pray, Mataji, please bless me and give your mercy also.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Rosie. Have a wonderful weekend ahead and let's all meet tomorrow.
Yes.
Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyascha bhaktanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo ananta koti vaishnavvrinda ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Kartik Maas ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hari Bol.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Stopping the session here.
Yes.
Hari.